Hi guys! So in case you can't tell, I am sitting in a bathroom at my parents' house. The lighting is bad everywhere else and you can't even see me, and this webcam is just getting worse and worse. But the good news is I did get my video camera in the mail and I'm just waiting on the memory card, so I'll be able to use it any day and have better video quality and not have to scream because to be honest with you, making these videos has been exhausting for me. There's something about raising my voice that is really tiring. But I have not been doing good in general. I've really been struggling. I had a great time talking to you guys, Shannon and Leah, yesterday. But then after that, I went to my parents' house and I had this weird episode where I walked in, had to immediately lay down. I was freezing cold, I was shaking, and just kind of going in and out of consciousness. And my eyes do this thing when I get like that where they just go. And I don't know, I've been meaning to ask if anybody else has ever experienced that. But when I'm having like a pre-syncope episode, I could be walking in the store and I start to feel really lightheaded. Or like last night, my eyes will just kind of uncontrollably blink like that on their own. And I'm kind of aware that it's happening, but I'm a little bit out of it. And it just keeps happening. And then people will say, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Why? What's going on?" And then I realize that I'm doing this. And eventually it actually hurts my eyes after a while. So that was pretty scary. And I've just been trying to take things one day at a time and stay as positive as I can, but I have been getting kind of down. But the good news is I dropped off a saliva test for my adrenals today, and I'm hoping it gives me some answers, and I have a good doctor who's really working with me, so I'm blessed to have that. But Gwen, I'm really thinking and praying for you, and I'm glad to hear that you're out of the hospital. That's wonderful, and just catch up on some rest and take care of yourself. I really wish I could come and visit, but I'm excited about this little gathering we're trying to plan for June. I think it would be amazing for the five of us to get together. It would make my entire year, I think it would make my entire 5 years. It would just be incredible. Shannon, you asked how late we go to bed, and I have always been a night owl. So I tend to fall asleep around 1 o'clock or 2, and kind of like you said, I wake up at 10 or 11, but I've been trying to get back on track. I was at one point falling asleep at 10 and waking up at 8, and I felt a lot better when I did that, so I'm trying to get back in that pattern. I found this really good hypnosis meditation. It's like a guided meditation that has really helped, and actually I'll put the link in the side so you guys can check this guy out, because I'm telling you, like the last few nights, I have fallen right to sleep with this meditation. And Shannon, your dog looks great with his haircut. I love his eyes. They're like all like googly. They don't even look real. Paige, take care of yourself. Don't overwork yourself. Make sure you take breaks in between studying. I know how exhausting it is. I'm proud of you, and I hope you're proud of yourself too. I just think that's wonderful. So keep up the good work and keep us updated on how you're doing with school. Leah, you asked about work, and you know what my situation is. I just think my health is too unpredictable right now. It's a shame because if I do have like a good week or even a good month, I think, wow, why don't I have a job? And then I have a setback and I realize why I don't have a job, because I would be fired. At some point, I do want to try and see what I can do, but my main focus is to try to get back on track with my classes and do that. But I definitely know how hard it is because I'm the same way. I want to work, and I am a hard worker, and I think all five of us are. I think it shows in our devotion to this channel and in a lot of the things that we do, and it's just a shame that we have an illness that makes it so difficult. Shannon, you mentioned that thing with your ears. My ears are kind of clicky all of the time, to be honest. They make like this weird clicking sound that I've never really been able to describe, but I laughed so hard when you did that because I said something like that to my doctor one day. I'm like, when I move my jaw like this, I hear like this clicking in my ears. And he was like, well, don't move your jaw like that. Like, and he made me feel so stupid. But seriously, I don't think we should have that happening. I don't know what it is. I don't know what causes it. So, oh, I did have a good day the other day. My friend Dave visited from Pennsylvania, and he actually has a form of dysautonomia as well. Uh, he's been dealing with chronic illness in general for quite some time now, and we met a few years back, and he was one of the first people that I met who was chronically sick too. So I thought I would introduce him to you guys and show a little clip of us talking about what it was like to meet somebody who understood what we were going through. So here's that. Hi everyone, I have a special guest today, my friend Dave.
How you guys doing?
And he happens to be one of the very first people I met who has a chronic illness as well. So it was great. So yeah, maybe 2006, we weren't sure. But we actually met on MySpace.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. It was a weird set of circumstances that have followed the whole process, but it worked out for the better. It was a good situation.
It was really surprising because he saw something on my, what did you see? It was on my MySpace, something I posted.
You had a ribbon for dysautonomia that was weird that I just happened to remember because I was actually diagnosed with it later on, maybe a couple months later, before I even knew it. And when it happened, when I got diagnosed, the first thing that popped back in my mind was actually that, and I ended up contacting you, and that's how basically it all started.
He was one of the first people I talked to who had similar symptoms as I did, and then we met and we started talking about all of our symptoms, and it was like eerie, the stuff that we had in common, like really just small things that you kind of never expect somebody else to have, like things about us being dizzy and the way we both felt off balance, and so.
It's just it gets eerie when you can connect with somebody else that has the similar, almost to a T, the things that you have, and when you get doctors and other people that can't really connect with you, it's comforting in a way to find somebody that has the same situation.
So we spent a lot of time, like we would try to go out and do things. It was interesting to be with somebody else who also didn't feel well, and there were a lot of things that we wanted to do and that we planned, and didn't always work out that way, but whenever we've been able to get together and go out and do something, we've always had a lot of fun, and it's just nice having a friend who gets that, who understands that.
I completely agree. Like I said, the whole thing is finding people, like the whole thing you have set up right now with the 5 awesome Potsies and meeting people in general. The whole key to this is that you have to find other people that can share similar experiences. It's so a lot of this that's so hard for people is that you're basically you feel like you're alone. It's when you go to doctors and when you're in the process of finding a diagnosis and you're told that it's all in your head or that you're crazy, it's like you start to kind of believe that. And then when you find people who are also going through the same situation, you go, well, you know what? I'm not really the crazy one. Maybe it was my doctor, and that's what is so gratifying about it. It's like I kind of have more. I put more. Trust in somebody that actually has or has had the actual illness that I have, or has been around and had like a family member or some kind of intimate experience with it firsthand. It's a more comfortable feeling. It's a more you feel it's the better decision sometimes because you feel they can relate to you again. Just how like finding other people that have the same problems you do, you feel more comfortable with it, and that's something I think is incredibly important.
Well, I'm sending you a big bear hug. Now take a deep breath and feel better, because I feel better when you do. Peace and blessings, Noah.
All right. Nice meeting you guys.